Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Today I'm sharing the 8 things that I do on a regular basis on how I manage my out-of-state rentals thus far. For those of you who are new, I'm Jean. I bought my first rental at 40 and I'm sharing what I've learned thus far in investing in Midlife. Quick disclaimer, what I'm about to share is not a guru's opinion. I am by no means a real estate investing expert. I started 5 years ago and I'm very much in the thick of the journey. I'm sharing what I've learned, so hopefully those who are a few steps behind or those who are considering going on this journey can learn from my lessons, wins, and mistakes. So I own a small portfolio of 5 single-family rentals. These were acquired slowly over a 5-year period, so very much a one rental at a time formula. They are out-of-state rentals in Central Arkansas, and I have a property manager to manage the day-to-day operations. However, as an owner, I have taken it upon myself to be proactive in managing the rentals. And these are the 8 things that I've documented so far that I do on a regular basis. And I hope that this is useful to somebody who is a few steps behind. So the first thing is that I make sure rent is paid every month for every single rental. Rent is due on the first day of every month. There's a 5-day grace period, and on the 6th day, the late fee penalty applies. The owner payouts hit my bank account every 10th of the month. However, I don't assume that this is clockwork. Every 6th of the month, I check the owner portal and verify if every tenant has paid. I don't wait for my property manager to tell me the status. There have been times when there are tenants that haven't paid, and when this is the case, I immediately send my property manager a message asking what's up, why the tenants haven't paid. After several months of doing this, I found that the property manager became more proactive and would inform me before I send that email that there's a delay in tenant payment. And this has really just helped me be on top of everything. I had a tenant that always paid a few days late, and I kept a close watch on that tenant. They always paid a late fee. And later on, I realized that it was a payment thing. The tenant would get paid at a certain day of the month. That's why the rent was always delayed. And when that tenant switched jobs, that tenant started paying on time. So I think that was just helpful to kind of understand the context of some of the tenants. But big picture, I want to make sure that every dollar is accounted for and we are staying on top of collecting rents. This is the source of income essentially for my rentals. Another thing that I do regularly is that I shop for insurance rates every year. I don't automatically renew my insurance policies every year. I get insurance quotes from several providers. I would say somewhere between 3 to 5 different providers every year. This is one expense that can easily blow up operational expenses, and doing a little shopping can really help save hundreds in insurance costs. The third thing that I do is that I keep a Rolodex of contractors and share them with my property managers. While a property manager has their own contact and they have their own contractors, I also have my own. These are people that I've met while I was acquiring properties, or I know some people in the area who have referred me other contractors, as well as other investors as well that I've networked with in the area who have shared their contractors. I found that this just helps when something needs to be repaired. I always have this spreadsheet of who I can call and who the property manager can call. The fourth thing is that I keep a spreadsheet of big ticket items that I've replaced or bought. So these are items like HVAC, refrigerator, dishwasher, roof, water heater. The spreadsheet includes who the contractor was that installed it and the items where I bought it from and if they have warranties that come with it. I've found that this can really help save on cost, especially if the item is still on warranty. There was one time that I had a roof replaced and we found some issues with it, and just knowing the warranty period, who was the contractor who did it, and just having a record, a documentation of all those was really helpful. And so that roof was fixed at no cost to me a year later. And so I've found that that has been so helpful. The fifth thing is that I ask for multiple quotes for expenses more than $500. This is where the Rolodex of contractors really comes in handy. My property manager, they have their own contacts, they have their own contractors, but I also share with them my Rolodex of contractors, and I ask them to get quotes from my contacts. And they've been really understanding about this, and some of them actually like it because they add a new contractor to their Rolodex of contacts, and that just helps them. So I think it's a very mutually beneficial relationship for me and the property manager, for us to kind of share the contractors that we work with and getting multiple quotes from those different contractors. The sixth thing that I do regularly is that I ask for pictures and receipts of repairs and maintenance that are done. They say trust but verify, and so this is my way of verifying that the work was done. This also gives me the documentation and the receipts that I need during tax season, so it's just super helpful to have all those in handy. The seventh is that I have inspections on my leased properties. I want to make sure that the tenants are taking good care of the properties, and if I have to pay a property manager or an inspector to do it, I do it. I think of this as an investment. If I find that there are tenants that are not taking care of the properties, then that's a signal for me that maybe I don't want them as long-term tenants. In fact, there have been times when I refused to renew a lease because I felt like, based on the inspection, that the tenant was not taking good care of the property. And the last is that I record all income and expenses on a monthly basis. I have a spreadsheet for each property and then a portfolio sheet that rolls everything all up, so I can see the performance for each property, and then I can also see the portfolio performance. I review each property's performance every month and compare it against how I expect it to perform. This takes less than 5 minutes every month. It's very important to me that each property is able to stand on its own and cash flow on its own. And this is how I kept track of that one property that was quickly becoming an alligator. This data became the basis of why I decided to sell one of my properties. My emotions were all over the place, but looking at the hard numbers made me make that decision. Not being emotional, but just looking at the numbers. So what do you think I missed? Let me know in the comments. I'd appreciate it. And I hope this helps someone like me who is on the journey of real estate investing. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.